Hi, thanks for joining me. Today, I would like to share with you three of my road opener recipes. And I tried to modernize these recipes so that it would make it easier for you to gather the ingredients for them. So before we begin, show some channel love and hit that like button and the subscribe button. And you can also hit the notification bell if you would like YouTube to notify you when I do a new video. All right, so let's begin. And I'm going to do a share screen with this so that it makes it a little easier and I'm not trying to write all over the whiteboard and do that. So give me just a moment. And let's get this started. So the general mix, this is a mix that you use on your person. You can also use this, it's especially great for using on candles and on your incense. So you use it like you would normally use it. A few drops here or there, it's up to you. I try to tell people to be intuitive when it concerns using certain oils or when you need to anoint or put oils into something. Don't be nervous about using these. Kind of relax and be intuitive with it, because what I'm telling you is just like a reference point. You don't want to put too much oil on in your candles, in the little wax well that's burning, because it tends to smoke up and give you a reading that you don't want. In other words, it may sit up the candle. If you're using one of the 7-day or 12-day candles, it may sit up the glass, and that's a false reading. So you don't want to do that. You don't really need a whole lot of oil. The oil is going to sit in the well and it's going to burn as the candle burns. So you can place it into the candle. You can also anoint the candles with it, dress the candles with it, and you can also place it inside the incense. So I usually say 2 to 3 drops, unless intuitively you sense to do a little more, you can. Now, you can also place some drops at the top of the candle, and as it burns down, say maybe halfway, place a few more drops in it as it has gone at least halfway down, because the oils may or may not have all dissipated. Okay, so try it that way. Now look at this first recipe. This is a general mix. Again, you can place this on your person, say as a sort of like a perfume type thing. It's not really a perfume, so remember that it's not really a perfume, but you can place it on you as a way of generally going before you. So if you anoint your wrists or somewhere, sometimes I'll put a little on my hair. I want the scent, the fragrance to illuminate the area, almost going before me. So you can do that also, but just don't use a lot, and don't use it as a perfume, because that's not what it's for. You can also place it on like your collar or something like that. You can do that. What it does is, as you smell it, the scent comes up, it helps you to realize that there are others here working with you, helping clear the way, pave the way, and open the road, preparing a way so that you can move through something or reach your goal. All right, now, the way that I mix this, I often use, now, the way that you see it listed here, it says general mix. I will generally start from the bottom, adding the ingredients as they go up, because the bottom has the most, the larger amount in it. So for that, you put 2 parts. Now remember, 2 parts is going to depend on the container that you're using or the amount of oils or mixture that you're making. So if you're just using droppers, then you use 2 droppers, and that means 2 parts hyssop. You use 2 droppers of hyssop. You place them in your container first. Then you use 1 dropper of vet. I always mess that up. Vetiver. You put 1 dropper in that, so 1 part vetiver. So whatever your hyssop is, half of that amount If you're just using a container and you're measuring it by eye, then you put the hyssop in first, and then you would kind of measure it, gauge it with your eyes, and you would add half of that amount of the vetiver. And then you use one part of the roux. So the roux and the vetiver are going to be in equal amounts. And so when you add those together, it should have doubled the amount that you have in there. So if you use 2 droppers of hyssop, you use 1 dropper of vetiver and 1 dropper of roux, and that's your mixture. Then to that, you would add your sage leaf, the sage that we normally burn for clearing. That's what you're going to place inside of your mixture. And what I like to do is, on here you see I have 1 to 2 sage leaves. If I have a small container, something like this, I can't remember, about a dram or 2, I will put 1 leaf in there. And if I'm mixing a larger container, I make sure I put 2 leaves in there. When you get ready to put the leaf in there, break the leaf. You don't have to break it completely in half, but you want to break the leaf so that the fragrance is now coming out of it and not just the whole leaf. So you want to break it somewhere, at least once. You don't have to crumble it up, but it won't hurt if you break it in more than one place. And then drop it into the mixture and cap it up. Now, I like to bathe the liquid, the mixture, in the sunlight. And I also like to then put it in the moonlight. So gauge your mixes and your timing so that you can place it in the moonlight or the sunlight. If you are pressed for time and you cannot wait on the full moon, then use whatever moon that you have. But I like to do the full moon. The energy is softer, more feminine, but I still like to have that full moon energy and also that energy from the sun. So try that. Also say a prayer over it, invite others, ethereal beings that you're used to working with, invite them to come in and to assist you in empowering this fluid to open the way, pave the way, clear the way, open the road so that you can reach the goals that you're working on. You don't have to name specific goals, but if you'd like, you can. But say you mix up a large batch and you have reached that goal. Now, what are you going to do with the rest of the oil? So that's why I try to make sure that I make a general petition over my oil so that it can be used for more than one goal. All right, so that's your general mix. Remember, for your incense, for your candles, for anointing, and also placing in, you can mix these oils. This general mix can go inside the incense mix that you're going to burn, and it can also go inside the candle, the well of wax at the top that burns, or you can anoint the candle with this. Either or, whichever way you're comfortable with, or both. It's up to you. All right, so now let's move on to the next one. And the next one, that's your general mix. And the next one is a personal mix. Now, for this is a personal mix. So make sure you only use it in this particular way. You need 6 drops of turpentine. You need 3 pinches of sulfur, and you need 2 pinches of salt. And a pinch is like this. You're doing a pinch. You're just gonna and drop it in. Now, I'm going to show you on this flip-flop how you're going to do this. So remember, you need 6 drops. You take 6 drops of turpentine, and this is an open shoe, but if it was a closed shoe, you would just reach down in here and do it. You need a dropper for this. You're going to put 2 drops in the toe area, 2 drops in the middle, and 2 drops on the heel. It has to be that way. 2, 2, and 2. That'll give you your 6 drops of turpentine. Then you're going to take your 3 pinches of sulfur. You're going to put 1 pinch in the toe, 1 pinch in the middle area, and 1 pinch in the heel area. And then what you're going to do, you take 2 pinches of salt and just throw them in there. You just put them in there. And now you're going to rock the shoe and tap it on the other hand, back and forth like that. So it distributes throughout the inside of the shoe. This is the inside. That is a great, I've used that recipe for years. And I sort of adapted it from what was passed down to me. That is a terrific recipe, terrific recipe. And it does help you. It helps you. And just remember now with that, you don't have to mix it up. You don't mix that up ahead of time. You use that in your shoe. It's really great for odor, as they say. Sometimes people will smell and go, what's that? Why? You just say, well, it's great for keeping the odor down in the shoe, or keeping the shoe fresh and free of odors. Sometimes people will ask, it'll catch their nose because the turpentine can be quite strong at times. Now, that turpentine you're using in your shoe, so it does not have to be the medic turpentine. I generally make sure I wear socks with this, and you want to put that in a closed shoe. So I showed you on a sandal type shoe, but you want that in a closed shoe because it makes a bit of mess. Make sure you put socks on when you do that because the powder stuff gets all over the place. But that works. That is a tried and true method, and you can use it on a dime, on a spot. You don't have time to do anything else. You can just grab that and use it. So there's different types of turpentine, or different grades. They have a medical grade, and then they have the turpentine that you use for stripping paints and stuff like that. So that it won't matter because it's going in your shoe, and you're going to wear a sock when you put your foot into the shoe. So it will be fine. And you're not using a lot so that it should not irritate the soles of your feet, okay? So that's what I use. That's a personal mix, and that's the only thing that I use that for. The only way that I use that one. I don't anoint candles and place that in candles because you don't want to smell the sulfur burning, and salt generally puts the flame of the candle out. So that's why you don't use it with that. Okay. And let's do the other one. This is a floor wash. Yes, this is a floor wash. So what you do with that is the floor wash, you use a quarter cup of salt. You take, should I say, you take a bucket because you're going to mop the floor with this, or wash the floor with it. You're really not mopping the floor. Your floor should already be clean. So sweep the floor, mop the floor, make sure the floor is clean. This is a spiritual cleansing. Even though it's a natural process that you're doing, this is going to be a spiritual cleansing and a clearing to open the roads up for you. So you take that quarter cup of salt and you dump it in a bucket. This is your mop bucket. You dump it in a bucket. You take 6 to 8 ounces of vinegar, not cleaning vinegar, but regular vinegar, not apple cider, just a clear white, excuse me. And I did put that vinegar on there, and I am going to tell you, because I just read that is a mistake. No vinegar, you need ammonia. So I will tell you this, that's ammonia. Let's change that right now, and I'm not, and that is not right. So my mistake, you need, I think that is the proper spelling for ammonia, and that is what you're going to use in there. You have to have ammonia. I'm trying to think. You usually can get it in the cleaning area. I'm trying to think, where's that? Some stores have it. It used to be really, 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 really popular. You don't want the lemon scented, but it really doesn't matter. I've never used the lemon scented. They have lemon scented ammonia to kind of cut down on the smell of it, but I've never used that before. So for this purpose, but I usually just use the clear ammonia. You put that in there. So it's 6 to 8 ounces of that, about a cup. Really, I use about a cup of it. It won't hurt. So I tend to lean on the 8-ounce side other than the 6-ounce side, because then you'll add a gallon of water to it. And it's up to you whether it's cold, warm, or hot water. Because again, you're not mopping the floor. You're doing a spiritual opening, road opening type thing. You take that, whichever mop, it's really nice if you have a mop just for that purpose. So what you need to do, you mix that up, get all of that. You want to make sure the salt dissolves, and the water, the ratio of salt to water should allow it to dissolve quickly. So you dissolve that in there, and then you just kind of slush it around on the floor. Depends on your home, what areas you can actually slosh that around. If it's a kitchen or a bathroom or a foyer, if you can do it in the living room area, it doesn't matter. Whatever floors that are bare and you're able to put this on, do so. Mop that floor, get up the extra water, and make sure you put it in the bucket. Once you put it in the bucket, then you take it to the front door and toss it out away from your home. If you're able to toss it out so that it goes down the sidewalk or the walkway that you have, then do so, because all it's going to do is clear a path to your door. And that's what you want it to do. You're opening up the roads, whether it's house blessings that you need, or any other type of petition, good health, if you're trying to have harmonious environment in your home, all of these types of things. If you're working on certain goals, it does not hurt to do the general mix for an incense or a candle, and do your floors also. It just kind of helps. We often neglect the floors because we're constantly coming and going, and so we don't think about cleansing and clearing the environment and making the environment that we're moving around in a open, or should I say, placing it in a position that it is inviting good things and in things that will help us get our goals or reach our goals. So we want to not just burn candles, burn incense, but we want to make sure that our environment is as clean and as clear as possible, because what you're doing is you're cleaning a path for things to come to you, good things to come to you. And as you're doing this, if you want to say a prayer, you can do that. As you're doing the floor, you can do that. But I like to use a couple of these things together, especially if I'm doing a candle or incense. I like to do the floors also, because that just makes you more receptive, because you're really clearing and cleaning, moving stuff out of the way. That's all a road opener does. It kind of breaks up the debris and move obstacles to the side so that you can clearly move through to reach your goals. And now the other thing with this is that general mix, which I did not mention. You can also place some of that small amounts in your diffuser. If you have a diffuser that scents up your room, you can do that, or your home or your office. That works really nice. So these things are not just for using at home. You can use them at your place of business too. If you have a business that you're trying to draw, that you want customers to come in and patronize your business, then clear the road, open that road up. So don't forget, invite your spiritual or ethereal beings to come in and help you. You can say a prayer or a declaration or a request over any of these things that you do, and then use them. It's just that the personal mix that goes into your shoes, and you don't have to say a petition over that. It's not necessary. But you can have good thoughts, and you can think of the goal that you're trying to do, what you're trying to do. All right. So hopefully this helps. If you have any questions, just hit me up with a comment in the comment section. And again, show some channel love by hitting the like and the subscription button. And of course, don't forget, hit the notification bell if you would like to be notified by YouTube when I do a new video. All right. Thanks for joining me. Until next time.